Well, if you had asked me, what do you think the purpose of practice is, I would have said preparation for death. And definitely I relate to that very strongly. That's probably what I relate to most strongly in practice, is preparation for death. I think for me, it's absolutely fundamental. And so a lot of interesting things have been happening for me the last few years. One is, which I've sort of been embracing, what I call the old hag or old crone phase of life. Very much inspired by the yogini and Dakini Machig Labdron, who lived at the same time as Milarepa. She lived to be 99, and she was a great practitioner, very much associated with the Pranya Paramita teachings, and very much cutting through ego, and she's been very influential on my practice. I think, let me just get my thoughts together. There's so much that could be said. It's kind of all bubbling up there. I suppose if I think about it, you take the three lakshanas again. That's so closely associated with letting go of all the assumptions and the longings that we have, to matter, to exist, to perpetuate ourselves, to find everything, to find satisfaction in life. And actually, the more that we cling on to that, the more suffering we have. And so there is only one way to go, and that is letting go. And we are going to have to let go of everything. We can take nothing with us. Yes, one of the things I recite in the morning is the 4 reminders. And it's got some very beautiful verses about letting go of. It says things like. Of course, my mind will go blank now, won't it? It says, my life will come quickly and abruptly to an end like a lightning flash in the sky. When his time has come, even a king has to die, and neither family nor friends, nor wealth or possessions can accompany him. Whether I stay or go, live or die, the karmic consequences of my actions will follow me as inseparably as a shadow. And when I was very young, I had an experience which led me to have a lot of faith in rebirth. And because of that, it's very present in my experience, the reality of rebirth, and therefore the reality of karma and what we take with us. The fact that there is no escape. There is, if we don't do the work now, we'll do it later. We'll do it sometime, because we'll have to, or we'll just keep repeating the rounds of suffering. So that's very, very important to me. And also having the body that I've got. I was born with something called arthrogryposis multiplex congenita, which not many people have heard of. I had to have a lot of surgery, I've had about 46 operations, something like that. And so when I was very small, I used to always be either recovering from an operation or having the next one. And I spent a lot of time, obviously, in a hospital bed, often on traction, more or less hung upside down, having to find life, if you like, find any kind of pleasure or play or whatever, literally in a pillow cover or whatever. And I think there's a lot of learning that comes out of that. In a way, life will never be as hard again, but you appreciate kind of everything. But I woke up I thought I'd woken up in one of the operations, and I had an out-of-body experience which made me see that my body and me were not the same, and that what me was a very mysterious thing, if there is a me. And yes, it was a very strong experience of feeling compassion for this body on the table that was being wrenched about. I think I was having a hip operation or something, and shortly after that, I had both hands operated on. I think I was about 3 and was strapped down to a bed so I didn't hurt myself. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and it was, I suppose it was the middle of the night, it was certainly dark, and really got quite hysterical. There was no light, and I don't know that I had any concept of death, but I thought I died. I thought everything had ended. You know, all I was aware of was this terrible pain and this terrible dark. And suddenly this calm came over me, and it was at that point that I knew I'd been here before. I knew sort of all sorts of things, and you know, I suppose that was the start of my path in a way. I knew, for example, that my life wasn't going to be easy, but that it was entirely up to me, that anything was possible. So I've always had that sort of confidence that anything's possible, and I think that's helped me relate to the Buddha's teachings of, yes, everything is possible. All you have to do is really live your life and make it happen.